Hello, everybody, and welcome to April 29th, Fight Fibro Live Q&A. I'm Green Irene, and today's show is more answering some questions that came in over the last couple of weeks. There's been a lot of challenges for a lot of fibro fighters out there, and it's hard to get to all the questions. So hopefully when I do answer some of these questions, it fills in the blanks for others or gives others the information that they're looking for. I'm still getting organized at my desk today. One of the challenges that we struggle with as fibro fighters is the inability to, we deal with fibro fog, right? And fibro fog can be very challenging, especially when you're trying to maintain a schedule. So why don't we get right to it today? I was going to do a slideshow and all that other sort of fun stuff for everybody. I've decided against it simply because for the amount of work that it is, I don't know that your interests are necessarily there. So you're more interested in the content than the pretty little graphics, I presume. If I'm wrong, tell me. I'll put up pretty little graphics. All right. So that said, let's get straight to some of the questions that came in the last couple of weeks. One of them is my doctor thinks that I may have fibromyalgia, but I feel like he's just given up on trying to figure out what's wrong with me. And then she goes on to explain a large number of the things that she's been fighting with. I am not a medical professional. I cannot diagnose you, and nor would I want to. However, with all of her symptoms that she describes here, it's perfectly understandable that her doctor would believe that it's fibromyalgia. Now, something to keep in mind, Marianne is 55 years old, and she wants to know if this is a common thing that the doctor will, after putting someone through a slew of testing, would they, do they just bail and use fibromyalgia as like a dumping garbage bin or some such thing? Marianne, let me say right off the bat, fibromyalgia is very, very difficult to diagnose. And they do have to go through a whole slew of tests to rule out other equally or more serious conditions like ALS, like multiple sclerosis, like chronic fatigue syndrome. Although these are symptoms, because they have very similar symptoms in all of them. So is it a common thing that they put you through a slew of tests? Yes, I myself went through 3 years of testing for everything under the sun. I honestly felt like I was taking care of Transylvania, for the vampires, because there was blood work every 10 days. There was more blood work, and they were taking vial after vial. They put me through endoscopies, laparoscopies, and just a slew of, a QEEG for your brain testing. They put me through just a rigorous amount of different tests before at last they said you have fibromyalgia. And at that point, to be quite honest, I didn't believe them. So, but I know now, after extensive studying and dealing with a large number of people such as yourself, yes, this is very common to go through all this testing. Your doctor has not given up. He or she has simply ruled out everything else. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Now, Marianne, if you would like some assistance on developing a battle strategy to help maintain the quality of your life or to improve it, if you would like more information on using hypnosis or NLP or cannabis therapies to deal with this condition that you've been diagnosed with, I am more than happy to schedule a discovery time with you, which is free. You can book it at calendly.com/Green Irene. Book that appointment with me. We can talk about developing and building a battle strategy for you. If you think that this is something you would like to do on your own, don't be shy to say so. In fact, go to fightfibro.ca and sign up for that program. It's self-directed. It gives you all the templates, all kinds of different templates. So depending on your personality type, you might use this one or that one or that one, whichever works for you. But there are battle strategies there to help you organize your day in relation or in spite of fibromyalgia. Okay, so that it cannot hold your health or happiness hostage. Let's not have that happen. I hope that answers your question, Marianne, and I hope that helps. Next, I have someone, I recently wrote an article on this, and again, I've referred to the spoon theory multiple times. Google it. It's called the spoon theory. It's an amazing story, and it's wonderful for anybody who's dealing with any chronic autoimmune deficiency condition, simply because it helps us identify, it gives us something tangible to be capable of identifying the amount of energy that we have in a day, because realistically, we don't have much as fibro fighters. So next I have Gabriella, pardon me. She's 62 years old. And she says, I get so depressed on my down days. Like I'm missing life. I'm failing to make the days count. Now, there was a few other comments in there. A very gentle reminder, Gabriella, not every day has to count. So some days are simply there to recharge and regenerate. Now, if you're having more recharge days and generating days or regenerating days than you are down days, as I'm using your words, then yes, we have to look at a new plan for you. It's time to really seriously consider a new battle strategy. As for the feeling down, I realize a lot of us call it FOMO, fear of missing out. Ask yourself on those days what you're missing out on. Because if it's simply your routine, a recharge day is not a bad thing, now is it? Okay. You have to know your limits so that you don't have too many of those down days. And again, that brings me right back to the spoon theory. Really check it out. For all intent purposes, I will simplify that spoon theory as best as I can. We wake up every morning. Let's say we have 12 spoons of energy. Okay. We're going to call it 12 spoons. It may take 1 or 2 spoons just for a fibro patient on a bad day to get out of bed, get dressed, and make a coffee or make breakfast or do their stretching. That may take 2 to 3 spoons. That means you only have 9 spoons left for the entire day. How are you going to spend them? If you're going to spend them, you have to do groceries, or you have to go to work, or you have to take the dog for a walk. Every activity consumes a spoon. When you run out of spoons, it's time for bed. Knowing in advance how many spoons you have can really help you to budget them. Imagine trying to create a budget for your household for the week, not knowing what your income is. Wouldn't that be next to impossible? Now imagine if somebody told you you have $1,000 for the week and that's what you have to budget. Wouldn't it make a lot more sense? Right. It's the same with spoons and energy. It's the number of spoons that we have, the amount of energy that we wake up with each day, and budgeting that effectively. Now, can we increase those spoons? Yes, we can. But we're not going to do it overnight. In fact, you're going to have to build up to this. And it can take 3 months, 6 months, a year, or 2 years, depending on who you are, your location, your environment, your state of fibromyalgia, and how long you've been dealing with this. Okay. So yes, we can build a strategy which ultimately over time increases the number of spoons that you have and allows you to have less down days. Now, Gabriella, I also want to say, with respect to the depression that seems to be setting in, that is not uncommon for chronic illness or chronic disease sufferers. Depression is an interesting thing. When it becomes chronic, medications do help short term, but long term we become dependent on them. So there are a lot of different techniques that you can use and employ. I strongly recommend going to YouTube, or seriously, give me a call. Schedule a discovery call with me at the fightfibro.ca website, greenirene.ca website, or at calendly.com/Green Irene. You can schedule a discovery call with me. It's free. I can help you to get started to create your battle strategy. Now, in your battle strategy, one of the things that you would want to do is find means of increasing the happiness hormone in your mind. Using hypnosis to do that is fabulous. NLP techniques are just amazing for helping us give up the negative thinking patterns. I call it rant therapy, which is reversing automatic negative thinking strategies, right? So what we do is we reverse them. And we do that through NLP, and we do it as well in hypnosis. Next, okay, Lisa, you want to know if hot tubs help with the symptoms of fibromyalgia because you would like to convince your husband to buy one. Just get it. Yeah, I love the hot tubs. And again, they can work for you or against you, but the heat is always stimulating. A hot tub will not only increase your body temperature, which we have a hard time regulating our internal body temperature as fibro patients. It is a serious condition. With the hot tub, you also get the circulation, extra blood circulation, but the heat can cause inflammation. So you have to be aware of that, okay? Sometimes it will work for you wonderfully, and sometimes it will not. If you have something like cannabis infused coconut oil. I use cannabis infused coconut oil as soon as I get out of the hot tub. It helps keep the inflammation reduced, but because all of my pores are open, the cannabinoids are much more easily absorbed by the little nerve endings and the muscles and all the rest, and it feels wonderful. And the next day is always a blessing. Now, in addition to that, so hot tubs, yes, absolutely beneficial. Do you need one? No. Is it good if you can have one? Absolutely, get one, and enjoy it as often as you possibly can, because I'm sure that you will. Now, something else that was really interesting was the infrared saunas. These are extremely beneficial, and if you look them up, use the key terms fibromyalgia plus infrared sauna plus benefits. When you put that into the Google search engine, you will get all of the information that I just couldn't possibly regurgitate here. But it absolutely amazing, phenomenally amazing for healing. Okay. And then we have Minot from Quebec. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. Why do I get so cold sometimes and then tingly pricks in my hands and my feet? This is neuropathy. Okay, or it's a form of neuropathy. And what's happening is somewhere your circulation is being cut off. Now, if you are a tobacco smoker, you really should. I know we all hate to hear this, but you should quit. If you can't quit, or you're having difficulties quitting, or it's like you just don't want to hear that shit again, I get it. Okay. So what I'm going to say is reduce the amount that you are smoking and increase your activity level. I realize with fibromyalgia, increasing your activity level sounds very counterproductive because that causes more soreness. However, doing rehabilitative yoga or rehabilitative stretching resistance training is phenomenal. It helps to keep the circulation going. It helps to keep the inflammation reduced, and it helps to get the blood going to where it needs to go. So what you're experiencing, although it's a type of neuropathy, those tingly pricks, I'm going to assume what you mean by that is if anyone's ever fallen asleep on their hand like this and then your hand gets all tingly afterwards, it's because we've cut the circulation off that's been going there. We have to get the blood back in there. And when the blood's not there, of course, things get cold, right? So I'm assuming that's what you were making reference to. So Mano, yes, exercise. Reduce your smoking if you're smoking tobacco. If you're not smoking tobacco, yay you. And if you can quit, if you are smoking, then quit. Okay. Now that was, oh, sorry, that's not it for the questions that I had. Yes, it is. That's it for the questions that I had this week. And I don't see any new questions coming in. I would love to share with you some information on a weekly basis in that maybe in the form of a slideshow instead of a live presentation, and just for me to be present in the comments section to help answer any questions that are coming in at that time. I'm more than happy to do that as well. So whatever you would like here on the Fight Fibro series, Fibro Fight series Facebook page, please let me know. I will do what I can to help you. I'm Green Irene, and you can find me at greenirene.ca. You can also find more information about fibromyalgia at fightfibro.ca. And for information related to the hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming that I offer clients or subjects, you can find that information at healthyselfhypnosis.com or healthyselfhypnosis.com. Okay. At any of those websites, you can schedule a discovery call with me. So if you are looking to retrain your brain, and if you're looking to create a change that crafts a brighter tomorrow for you and your loved ones, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired or battling bad behaviors and want to get rid of some nasty habits, or you're just simply sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're fed up with feeling like your happiness or your health and wellness is being held hostage by a disease or by dis-ease, by pain, by anxiety or depression, using hypnosis combined with neurolinguistic programming techniques as well as cannabis strategies is a therapeutic marvel. It really genuinely helps. And I can help you. Just schedule a call with me today at calendly.com/Green Irene, or go to any one of my websites, greenirene.ca, fightfibro.ca, healthyselfhypnosis.com. I look forward to seeing you next week. Please continue to send me your questions via email, chat, messenger, text, or any other format just to get the questions to me. And tune in next week on the Fibro Fight series live Q&A at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On that note, peace out, be happy, get healthy, and stay strong. Ciao for now.